Don't we all want to be praised and worshipped like some sort of deity? No? Only me then? Our little spider girl has gotten herself into a spot of bother, not really being able to get much of a rest about all the villagers coming for a bit of attention, bit of healing, salvation from their daily lives. Oh, and of course, our hero is still making his way through the labyrinth on his way to the elf village. Two separate stories, disconnected by a vast amount of time and years, but with a similar thread. A town that needs to be protected. So, shall we see how these stories intertwine? How indeed. Your adoration has grown slightly since we left off. Okay, I think 15 might be a bit excessive, but they really needed something to believe in. There's some nice decorations. Could have had a less terrifying depiction, though. Of course, during times like this, you would have someone trying to monopolize on the situation. I can see some people wanting to... What are you drawing? Wanting to buy that. Oh. You're not open to being a model for him, then? Can anyone speak squeal? Also, why don't she look through her skill database using this bit of wisdom that she has? Look for communication abilities, like I think was attempted a long time ago, but then forgotten about. I guess this is a class reunion. So, I am assuming by that title, the hero and his party are going to make it to the elf village where the other reincarnations are being held. But apart from constantly being aggravated by the townspeople, is she going to enjoy her new little existence here for the time being? And also how the story unfolds with Sophia. Of course, she's got a few more years before she actually be independent. I definitely want to see more of the administrators and how they affect this world. Just getting a bit more world building itself would be nice. It's just an illusory wall. See? At least you didn't have to roll headfirst into it to get it to open. Who exactly are they going to tell? But it's not exactly too Loctite, is it? Just having a single, somewhat hidden wall between it and the labyrinth. And he doesn't recognise her? Probably for the same reason that she's brought everyone else here. And still holding his blade up to the chieftain's daughter. It would be something difficult to forget, but yeah, wasn't he in more than one parts before? So does he have some sort of immortality or various skills there to help him out? Was that just an illusion before? A vast war force, yes. But if they're sending that many troops, they're either not really worried about the demons, or they've got someone on the inside there to help them out. Of diverting all of their attention to the elf village and the reincarnations. Oh no. That was a long scene of not really seeing anything because of twin tails there. It did seem like it all went a bit too smoothly. And there are other things that you can't exactly take on her word. Does anyone really just sit on a tree branch like that? It is good that the teleportation circle doesn't just plop them out in next to the village. Kind of makes it easier to make sure that you don't have unwanted guests. What about more than a queen pterotax? Yeah, either there's a skill that can dismantle the barrier or he can go in from the inside. We've already seen his ability to brainwash, what says that can't be used on the elves. Resettlement area. That was a low energy welcome. Did that potato just disappear? So they're not exactly happy to be here. How easy is it going to be to tell all of the other classmates? That one's going to surprise you. From that reaction, I'm guessing there's not really anyone else that has had that kind of vast change. That's because that's a skill, so she can. It's just a mental image of what she wants. And getting to see all your old friends and classmates again, well, it must be nice. But if we were just going to go through them all and say, I'm so and so, doesn't really mean anything to me. We didn't spend a lot of time in the class, so we don't know anyone. Did you just float for a while? Hmm. So how many of the class are against her? And hearing what's been going on from another side. That is quite loud. That is another way, a better kind of meeting straight away. Nice to meet you. Don't know if I should try to remember. Hmm. So you, yeah, we already know you two. So how many are left? Yeah, there's two. Oh, two more because the adventurers came along since they talked about it. Yep. But how many are still out there? And are the ones that died actually no longer on this world? No one's. Excuse me. Really, no one of the classmates there is going to ask about her being a monster. What was that pause? No reason. The fact that you're expecting to talk to someone, you're completely blindsided, I guess. There is a fight going on over where she's going to end up. Silence. Looks like he stepped into something by asking that. Literally kidnapped. Right, okay. Does she take what everyone else, what they want and their wills into account? Or is it just, I know what's best for you, come along? If they knew about any of these, then there'd be a bit of information. So technically two, unless that's changed recently, and the four that have died. So Naofumi and Issei. Yeah, I was about to ask, does anyone have the rights over a monster? And of course they're going to want it. Something new and powerful that everyone is raving about. They'd like a bit of power, and it's yep. I forgot there's complete demolishment of a stronghold kind of thing. Plus, it's going to be a boost in the local economy of all this tourism. It does what it likes. How do you expect... How are you expected to hand it over anyway? Put it in a cage and wheel it down there? And seeing Potamus is quite travelled. He's been around a lot of places, hasn't he? But why would he take interest? Yep, you're going to be a lot better acquainted in a few years. I don't think this time your information is particularly correct. Close enough. And that little bit there is going to mean quite a lot to Sophia. Wait, reincarnations? Plural? But of course in Japanese there's no plural or singular. Whatever. She is running fast. Even if she does bail out and teleport back to the labyrinth or something? What's to say that the Demon Lord isn't just going to wipe out the town while she's away? Looks like the parallel minds are doing business out there. But even if she is incredibly weak stats-wise, she's still got a load of skills. Remember when we started off with our spider? It wasn't the stats keeping her alive. It was the abilities. Those guards are doing a good job. Damn! Still massively imposing. Got a problem there, haven't you? You are trying to get into a spider's den. Webs everywhere. Oh, she cut her own legs off there. If they're stuck, snip and escape. It's not quite as easy as you thought it would be. The amount of time she's used her webs as this kind of trap against other monsters, why didn't she expect it against herself? You got to make up your mind on what you're going to... Oh, she's back to her usual form, spending more time as a head than anything else recently. Her terrible life is flashing before her eyes. Do you have time for this inner inflection? Yep, you're not going to let it all be in vain now. Keep bouncing and flapping, I'm sure that'll get you away. Sashiburi. I guess that's one way of powering up. Siphoned them off for yourself. Happily ignorant. I mean, kinda. But that opens up a new thing. It's not just defeating enemies and leveling up and gaining skills that you can... how you can gain strength, but literally devour the souls of everything around you. Really doesn't seem balanced. Ooh, that's a lot of stuff to read through. Panoptic vision? You've got, is this the time to really be looking through all your stats right now? You can... You've still got the, big spider right behind you. Bye-bye. Hyper beam. But you... There is, one of them missing. Poor Kier. But from what we saw, there wasn't particularly a lot of danger from body brain, so... At least you have met up with two of your others. Run away again! Artist formerly known as. But with the body brain now kind of infecting the Demon Lord, as long as it hasn't been dealt with, that's going to be something to use in the future, isn't it? Some sort of machina. And since she was heading to the village where the spider was, is there anything to go back to now as she teleports away? And if it has been destroyed, well, the kingdom is trying to gain access to the divine beast. Drop that. Yeah, there's not much left. They're kind. But the fact that they're holding a conversation like this means that the one that she was fighting and turned off all its skills and laid down its life could have been conversed with. A changing of the guards. She has done enough to leave a mark on the world. She deserves to live a bit to see what she can do. Oh, yeah, okay. Maybe he should have heeded her warning. She was in a bad mood. But if him slightly interfering there was a violation of the agreement, what was this? But as we saw, the way to gather all the past schoolmates together, some were sold, others kidnapped. And they had their own lives, and that's been, well, decided for them. Sure, you can be in this world as a hero, a prince, maybe even an adventurer. But I'm sure there are other classes, like a villager. I think some of them may be safer just staying here. Less monsters rolling about. But with head chieftain of the elves, Potamus, kind of shrugging off a decapitation as a mere flesh wound. What's going on? Who do we have to look out for? Who's in league with who? And ultimately, how much do those plushy spiders cost? Asking for a friend. So now that 2 of the parallel mines are back, can she just send one off every now and again? So, oh, can you go eat that soul? Nom nom nom. Quick little boost of a few 100 points every now and again. Weaken it down to its almost non-existent strength. Then kill it. Get XP as well. Seems like a very efficient way to get stronger. This world is incredibly balanced, and maybe a way to topple the administrators, or at least not be instantly wiped out by them. But we need to see about that, don't we? If you enjoyed this episode of Spider and want to see more of the adventure, subscribe to the channel. You won't miss out. Of course, leaving a like and a comment helps me out. I'm not entirely sure how, but I'm sure it does. But until next time, get some rest. I'll see you again. If you want to join my village of outcasts, then consider joining onto my Patreon, because my patrons so far are here completely of their own regard, and not at all because they're under duress. So I need to thank Sal, Raywin, Electrican, Darthia, Shiwan, Mecha, Jennifer Rojas, Stinsfire, Big Boy, Mads, Resons Paulson, Girly, Dynamite1997, ASD, Dark Shadow 7899, and everyone else, because they are the sweet reunion to the forced kidnapping that is my channel.